Well, welcome back inside the Mattamy Athletic Center. Jackson Jacobs, Richard Coffey. The starting lineup for the Rams has been announced, and now the ceremony to celebrate the graduating seniors. 10 players and former players being celebrated here tonight, Richard. A big graduating class for the 2017-18 Rams.
Yeah, a lot of players that are big contributors to this Rams team for this season are moving on, graduating this year. It's going to be interesting how they move forward with this program with a lot of these players leaving.
As I mentioned, some former players are in the graduating class. The likes of Cassie Sharp is one of them. She's now working with the team behind the scenes, helping out the players, the development.
Yeah, she has had a bit of a rough year with injuries, but last year she did play a very pivotal part of this Rams team.
There you see some of the active players for the Ryerson Rams in the starting lineup. Sarah McGilvery, Alyssa Connolly, Alex Rodriguez, all in the starting five, all three graduating players. Emily Marks will now join head coach Lisa Haley at center ice, and Emily Marks now working with the community service side of this Ryerson Rams team after being forced to graduate from the playing side due to injury, and still playing a pivotal role for this Rams team. And it's the behind the scenes and in between positions, Richard, that definitely don't go unnoticed, and you see it right now.
Yeah, it's really nice to see them honoring these people who have both helped them on the playing side, but also on the behind the bench and in the front office and all the different aspects of the Ryerson Rams organization. I also do love the Rams, the throwback Rams jerseys they have on today. Those look really nice.
Throwing it back, the Ryerson Rams, and definitely a lengthy list of graduating members of this team. As the UIT Ridgebacks are in here on Thursday night, they're only graduating one player this season. The Rams, 10 players and former players. Next player being introduced to a big applause, Emma Rutherford, who played a major role for this Ryerson Rams team, played 2 seasons in the blue and gold, and in 2015-16 helped lead this Rams team to their first ever playoff berth, along the likes of Jessica Hartwick, Melissa Ronsberg, 2 players who are now in the CWHL. And Emma Rutherford was a major part of that team, playing on the top line, and really put this Ryerson Rams team on the map, and has now worked a lot on the video side for the Ryerson Rams, helping out with plays behind the scenes. Of course, being a player that's been there, done that, can really help players as they move along in their OUA careers with plays that they should have made, or plays that were good, plays that were bad, and that's what Emma Rutherford has been doing for the last couple seasons after her eligibility ran out.
It's got to feel good for her to be and see where this program has come since she last played for this program, as all the improvements that they've made over the last couple of seasons.
Next player being introduced, Emily Marshall, the third-string goaltender for this Rams team this season. Never saw a game in the goal crease, but she did suit up for a couple games and has played a big role. And everybody on this team will say that Emily Marshall is a key part to the dressing room of this Rams squad, and always a smile on her face. Of course, this Ryerson team has battled a lot in the last couple of years to get back into a playoff berth. And to have somebody like Emily Marshall in the locker room, keeping the mood up, keeping the smiles on everybody's faces, that is key to a team.
You always find with the players who don't necessarily dress as often are always looked at as the dressing room favorites among the team. Those are the ones they like to lean on for the positivity that they bring, even if they don't necessarily get on the ice to play.
Marshall, of course, coming onto this Rams team a season ago when one of the starting goaltenders, Ali Sarna, had to hang up the skates due to injury, and Marshall, originally a practice goalie with this Rams squad, stepped up, goes to every practice, goes on the road trips, never played a game, and that is some dedication from Emily Marshall. And that's who we have next. Ali Sarna who had a great career with the Ryerson Rams, as I mentioned, forced to hang up the skates due to injury. And now this season, she worked in the position that she played in as a goaltender coach, helping her fellow goaltenders in the net get better each and every day. Rachel Seeley taking a lot of guidance from her this season as she's taken over the crease. So Ali Sarna, a big role still once again for this Rams team.
3 seasons in goal, and now she's moved on to help the next era of Rams goalies. The future of Rams goalies to improve themselves.
Sarna is also very outspoken in the community of head injuries, of course, suffering from concussions in her career, and that's what forced her to step aside. She's very active in creating awareness for how we can make the game better, how we can make the game safer as well.
And that's always good to see players realizing that there are issues with it and understanding it and trying to do the best that they can to help the issue of concussions be.
Well, and what I really like in Ali Sarna is you could have easily stepped away from the game and been upset about the way your career came to an end. Instead, she turned it into a positive and helped out this Ryerson Rams team by still being a goaltender coach, as I mentioned.
We thank her for her time in the blue and gold and congratulate her on her career.
Next player to join head coach Lisa Haley is Ailish Forfar, the captain of this Ryerson Rams team this year, the original transfer from Dartmouth in the NCAA Division I. She played last season, and then this season where her eligibility will come to an end. She was injured a few weeks ago, and it's still undecided whether or not she will return for the postseason or not. Would be a vital part of this Rams squad if she does. Right now, she's tied for the lead for the all-time single season point record with none other than Krishanda Green. So Ailish Forfar, a tremendous 2 years here with the Ryerson Rams, getting the C on her chest this season, and definitely one that all the players in this locker room can look up to.
You almost feel like when she came to Ryerson, it brought a little bit of swagger almost, especially when she became captain this year. A little bit more of like fight. Almost.
There's no doubt about it. I mean, she came to a Ryerson Rams team that was struggling, finished dead last the season before she came. Last season, they finished second last, and she really brought a winning mentality to this Ryerson Rams team.
Hopefully we'll see her before the end of this season, as the way she went out back against Laurentian is not probably how she wants to end her Rams career.
And now we move to the current players. Alyssa Connolly playing on that top line. One of the assistant captains for this Rams team, ending a great career.
Alyssa's been a staple in her 4-year career, never missing a game on route to 96 regular season.
As you just heard, 96 career games played, never missed a game. About as veteran as you can get in the OUA is Alyssa Connolly.
Congratulations, Alyssa, on your career with the Rams.
A true Ironman streak. This would be now 4 full seasons. It's incredible to see. Gotta love these photos, getting to celebrate with their families after the completion of their such great careers with the Ryerson Rams program.
Definitely a special night indeed for these players, having the family in attendance.
Nice big crowd tonight as all these players' families have come by to watch this game.
With Sarah McGilvery, please join Lisa at center ice.
Sarah McGilvery will be the next player to be celebrated here tonight, one of the assistant captains as well. Sarah is one of the biggest leaders, not only here on the women's hockey team, but for Ryerson athletics as a whole. You're not going to come across a nicer person than Sarah McGilvery. Will do anything to help out anyone here around Ryerson, around the athletics community, and has been a great role model and ambassador for Ryerson, and being celebrated as she should.
84 career games with the Ryerson Rams. Another great career bet. You can hear the cheers from the fans tonight who are celebrating Sarah McGillivray.
Sarah scoring on Thursday night in that victory over UOIT. Picked up her 3rd goal of the season, and a player that can really do it all, a veteran of the game, and is picked up in the defensive zone, which has really helped this Ryerson Rams team. We talked about it in the pre-show, how good they have come defensively, and that comes to a big part of the veterans up front.
Veterans up front who've helped them on all facets of the game. And here's one of those veterans, Alex Rodriguez.
Alex Rodriguez. If you want someone with a whole lot of character and a whole lot of life, it's Alex Rodriguez. She brings a lot of it to the dressing room, and one of the most popular players around the league, and she plays a big role on the defensive side of the game, and is so offensively minded, and is really brings that touch to her defensive game, and that's really the future of hockey. You see defensemen with a big offensive mindset, and that is what Alex Rodriguez does best. An assistant captain the last couple seasons, a leadership role, a veteran role.
Especially on a team filled with so many young defenders, right? The Rams' typical top 6 has 3 freshman defensemen in it. So having this veteran player who has been there and who is able to not only give leadership skills towards them, but also have a strong game themselves is really good for the Ryerson Rams.
Rodriguez 4th in team scoring this year with 11 points, leading all defensemen. We'll see if she can bring a little bit of more magic here down the stretch, Richard, as the Rams are going to need it.
I will say, though, next year they probably will miss her booming shot from the point. We'll have to see which defenseman steps up for them next year to be that number 1 that Alex Rodriguez fills.
Well, that will do it for the graduating ceremony, and for now, we will step aside for national anthem. Stay tuned. Rams vs. Griffins puck drop is next.